Hello guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. We're doing, I don't want to call it a starter home, although I think it's starter home priced. I did try to keep it lower priced and lower key. So originally I just wanted to build something small and kind of starter-esque for the family I'm playing in my personal world. And then I was kind of like, you know what, this lot is kind of too small for us already, because I've been playing on the other starter lot, excuse me, and I've been kind of like bouncing back and forth. So then I was like, alright, I'm going to make this a rental cabin for my city dwelling Sims, so they can come out and hang out. And then I was like, ooh, I wonder if I can make it a tiny home, which is why I'm doing some like kind of fancy stuff with this this little like pin here. And I did set it up with food and water, but I didn't set it up specifically as a horse stall, because I figured if you moved in as a starter home, you'd probably want to get like goats first, and if you moved in a horse, you could set it up for a horse. But I wanted to make it a multi-purpose space, but I moved the wall in specifically so it didn't make a room, so that it didn't count as tiles, because technically it's not the like micro home, but it's the middle one, it's the tiny home, so there's some skill benefit here. And like I said, I think, if I recall, this house ends up being starter priced, maybe question mark. It's one room with a bathroom, but it's basically a studio space, right? The bedroom and the living space are all together, and it's tiny, it's teeny weeny. It has been player tested. The routing's like a little weird, but it works. Everything in there works, and it's meant to look like somewhere between an old cabin and like an Airbnb made to look like an old cabin. And so there's like some old stuff in it. I might sneeze. Oh goodness. Maybe we're okay? Maybe we're okay. I really thought that was going to be a sneeze for a minute. So there's some old stuff in there is what I was going to say. Like the fridge is a little older, the stove is meant to look a little older. But I was also kind of thinking realistically this was like repop stuff, right? This was not like aftermarket kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's new, but it's made to look old essentially. Because it was probably going to be like a rental place, right? So you don't want a situation where like your renters are stuck using stuff that doesn't work anymore, or that is really fiddly, and you don't necessarily want them working with like your grandma's stove, because if it gets broken, it's sad. So that was kind of what I was imagining. And I was pretty much imagining one sim, although I did put a double bed in, and I don't think I see a reason why two sims couldn't live here comfortably. There is no computer, because like I said, up until I realized it could probably be a starter, I was thinking like a little rental cabin. I tried to put a back porch on here. That ended up not working for a multitude of reasons, one of which I just hated it. And then I wanted to stay in the mid-range. I think it's called the tiny home. I think it's tiny home is the mid-range. And you don't necessarily have to stay in a tiny home. I just thought it would be kind of appropriate because this lot is very tiny. And I also didn't do like a ton of landscape or anything, because I wanted it to look very much like this cabin just sits until someone comes and hangs out with it for a little bit. And I do end up changing that side piece, which is the bathroom. I didn't end up leaving it, I don't think, with that wood texture. I was going to. I liked kind of the differentiation, but then it kind of just looked like I picked the wrong thing, and I was like, you know what? So I ended up changing it. And then this chimney killed me, but I did leave it because there is a big fireplace, because I felt like that was pretty important. I would like to build a cabin with the smaller fireplace, the like wood stove more is what it would be. And it's kind of funny because that's a little bit more what's in my house, although mine in my house, I think I've talked about this before, is absolutely giant, and it's in the smack middle of the living room. And it's on bricks, which just makes it even bigger. And we can't use it because two of the people in my house are absolutely crazy allergic to everything about wood stoves, which is just so fun. But yeah, I wanted to kind of use the wood stove. There's also wood paneling in my house, which may have like a little bit inspired this. I don't love the wood paneling, but everyone else in my house loves the wood paneling. And I would feel weird like tearing it out, because like it's not ugly. I just don't love it. But anyways, I did struggle with windows a little bit, because not even the windows so much, although it made the placement of like literally everything kind of weird. If I had had my druthers, I would have stuck the chimney, there we go, that's the word, on the side of the house, stuck the fireplace over there, and then had the bed off to the side, and then had like the kitchen in a different place. But I needed the chimney on the back to balance the house, because the back looked super empty. I don't know if that's going to pick up on mic. Discord has decided to spread the fact that I am on Do Not Disturb to just make noises. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I have cool friends doing cool video game things, it looks like. Anyways. So yeah, the layout got a little bit out of pocket really fast. And then, so I liked the kitchen the way it is right now. it's very cute. It's very compact. It makes sense to me. And then, my goodness. And then, I realized there's no sink in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, well, technically, like, I fought back and forth with it for a while. Because, like, technically, this cabin is small enough that you could use the kitchen, or the bathroom sink, right? Like, there's really no reason you couldn't. But then that's weird, right? Washing your dishes in the bathroom, this is weird. And so I went back and forth, and I was like, does it matter? It's The Sims. And I was like, it would matter to me. So we ended up changing the layout of the kitchen a little bit to be able to get a sink, which then changes the layout of the living room a little bit, and I liked the layout before, but this new layout makes more sense. And again, it's a rental, so it doesn't really matter. And if it was, if you buy it as a starter home, you just have to live with it for like 2 or 3 of their paychecks, and then just bump a wall, and you're fine, right? Like, because this is one of those houses where you could probably make it work even better longer term for like 2 Sims if you bunched the wall out by 2 and just gave everything like a little bit more space, right? And that wouldn't be that expensive. If you let your sim work for like an in-game week, they could do that pretty easily. Or like you could pop a second story on it, or like pop an L shape on it. But yeah, I kind of imagined it being like, I was gonna say a writer's cabin, but there's no computer here. But realistically, if your sim is like a writing sim, you could pack their laptop and make it work. You just have to set like a desk, or you could set it at the table. That would be fine too. There's a little like dinette set in this, which is it is usable. It's squished. The biggest killer in this cabin that drove me absolutely bonkers was the curtains, and I cannot remember for the life of me. I recorded this about a week ago. It was a lunch break build, and it was actually a 1 lunch break build. That never happens. I always say they're a lunch break build, and what I mean is over the course of a week, every lunch break I worked on it. But this was a 1 lunch break build. But anyways, the curtains nearly killed. Oh, that's lies. This was a 2 lunch break build because I started it on the end of another lunch break. And I built, like, the shell, and then did all of the interior and the next one. So it's a 2 lunch break build. I lied. Sorry. Oh, and yeah, that was kind of the thing. Like, if you look in the bathroom, like, I tried to, again, do, like, modern vintage, which is completely, like, an oxymoron. But what I mean by that is, like, it's supposed to look, like, intentionally, it's, like, a modern retelling of a vintage space. Like, everything is meant to look vintage, but you can very clearly tell that it's a newer space. Because again, like I said, in my game, this is going to be a rental. It's going to be like a vacation space, so you can come to, oh no, what is the name of this world? I've completely lost it. I know it's New Appaloosa is the town, and we're in town, so we're just gonna call it New Appaloosa. I can't remember the name of the world now. Goodness gracious. Anyways, but yeah, so it's kind of squished in here, and the curtains absolutely killed me. I can't remember if I put curtains in or not, was what I was saying, because I very nearly rage quit over the curtains. And if I recall, if there are curtains in here, there's none in the bathroom, are there? Anyways, if there are curtains in here, please know that they nearly killed me, and I nearly rage quit over them, and I'm not completely happy with them. I'm gonna take a sip of liquid. That used to be warm tea. That is not warm tea anymore. But I could hear my voice going, so I want to take a sip real fast. Yeah, here we go. Would you all tell me what curtains I'm supposed to put in here? Because I don't know. I'm still not completely happy with it. I love that swatch on the bed, though. Honestly, kind of wish I could find that in real life. That'd be real cute on my bed. I have blue. I have blue in like a very soft, faded, kind of vintagey looking damask pattern, I think is what it's called. Love it. Adore it. Very, very warm in the summertime. So, like, literally, if you look at my bed right now, it's like a sheet and a pillow because it is so hot. So I'd like to get a set of summertime bedding so I'm not dying all of the time in my wintertime bedding. I would also like to just be an adult who has like more than one set of bedding so that when I share my bed to clean, like I'm not just like out, because it's always a race between me and my procrastination, right? Because like if I strip my bed and I get it in there, I get everything clean, like it is a race to get it back on the bed before I sit down to play a video game. Because if I sit down to play a video game, the chances are very, very strong I'm not going to remember to either swap it to dry or get it out of the dryer and put it on the bed. I will forget, and then all of a sudden it'll be midnight and I want to go to bed and there's no dressing on the bed. So it's always a race. So it's a race between my brain and forgetting what I was doing and then not having sheets. So I do have 2 pairs of sheets now because I'm an adult who can at least do that, but I don't have like a second comforter or like pillowcases or anything. So I want to get that. That's off topic for what we're doing. But just know I'm 27 and still have to race to get my bed made, or it won't. I don't know at what age you're supposed to be able to like keep a house. Like, by what age are you supposed to be, like, domestic enough to keep a house? I've not hit it, for sure. And I don't know if that's something I'm capable of doing. Anyways, very clearly I've gone off topic, and I can smell lunch. So I'm going to sneak out a little bit early and let you just enjoy it with some good music. It looks like, according to my little recorder thing, you got about 13 minutes left of the speed build. This is a long speed build for as small as it is. It's okay. It'll hopefully be maybe informative. And then there'll be some cool screenshots, and then... Let's see, next week I think might be a room build question mark. I don't know. Anyways, I'm really happy with how this one turned out though. And I do like the little like flex space, because if you're coming to stay, right, like you probably don't need it. Although you might own a goat, who knows? But if you're coming to stay like for a rental or something, you probably don't need that flex space. Although you could put like bikes or something in there. It doesn't have to be necessarily like an animal pen. I have it set up for animals, kind of, sort of, but it doesn't have to be an animal pen. You could just use it to like lock the gate and lock some of your like stuff in there, because I know Sims like to walk off with stuff sometimes. It's like an eco like lifestyle thing. So you could do that, or like I said, if you moved in and it was a starter home, then there you can have goats and stuff, because the goats actually do make you a little bit of money, the goats and sheep, because you can shear them and you can milk them, and then you can sell that, and then I think it's the goats help with gardening. And dude, right now the wine making, that's not what it's called, the nectar making is like super lucrative. It is super nice for making money. So you could always move here and then like turn that little thing into a shed, or just put your stuff out there so other Sims don't mess with it. Turn it into an actual room. You'll just lose like the tiny house benefits, but if you didn't and you just use it to keep like your crops undercover, because I believe they'll be undercover because of the roof, then you would have the tiny house, which should make your skills go up faster, which means you could be like a master nectar maker a lot faster, and then make lots of money, which would probably be a good start in this, because horses are expensive. They're expensive in real life and they're expensive in game. Actually, they're not that bad in game, but it is a bit of a commitment. Or you can use it to have a horse and then start your, master rider career. Anyways, the idea is like it's a flex space. It could be whatever. Yeah, and then I fought with this kitchen for a while. And it does work. I will say, it's one of those kitchens where it's the corner cabinet. And, like, it works 9 times out of 10. And then every once in a while, your sim will be like, I couldn't possibly cook on a corner cabinet. I don't know what that is. If it becomes a problem, which you could very easily do, is just swap the stove for the sink and then move the sink, like, make it I've lost the word for it, like an in-mount sink, and then put it in the corner, I think. Or you could just move the fridge and stuff. Like, there's a few ways to lay out this kitchen where you could get it working. But like I said, the side mount, so the corner mount cabinet, it does work, like 98% of the time. I don't know what it is with the Sims and their pathing, and every once in a while they're like, can't possibly. I don't get it. But here's more curtain woes. I don't remember what I finished it off with, but I guarantee I'm not happy with it. So I should probably stop chatting though, because like I said, dinner or lunch is ready, and it's corned beef, and I'm very excited, because not only is it going to be corned beef tonight, but then it's going to be corned beef sandwiches tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be so good. And I can't stay on top of Save My Life, so I should probably end this here. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're feeling loved. If you're not feeling loved, please know I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're here, hanging out. I'm glad that you get to be here and make the world a better place by being you. So I will see you next week for probably a room build, maybe a full speed build. I'm not sure what's going on next, but it'll be cool. Hopefully it'll probably be horse themed for like the foreseeable future. And then we'll go back to normal stuff. But I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.